Hello everyone, it is hopefully an okay editor 357 here, and as you can tell by the title of this video, for today we are going to be doing a sort of tour, if you can call it that. It's really just, me recording and going through it, but no, it's a tour through my Steam library. So if you're ever curious about if you wanted to see all the stupid weeb games I have, here they are. In all seriousness though, it is mostly visual novels, but I'll just be taking a quick look through my Steam library and just maybe make a comment or two about anything I see, or if anything particularly stands out to me about them, or if I have any long-lasting memories with them. In case it isn't obvious from the fact that I'm already stumbling over my own words and whatnot, this video is unscripted. This is just see what happens sort of thing. So let's do it. I've hidden all the embarrassing games already. Just kidding, I have none. So up first, I can free up space. I'll do that later. Now's not the time for that. Wow, 1 minute. Yeah, so I very vaguely remember this game, Absent. I got this back in, probably 2012 or 13 when I was trying to start my own gaming channel, and I'm pretty sure that I did have the channel with a few really bad videos on it. Sonic Car videos, because what else are you going to play but Sonic Car? And I wanted to do a walkthrough of a story-driven game, and I also thought horror would be cool because I don't know, I feel like horror games have always been a huge thing with YouTube. So I found this, and this was before I got a job, so I kind of wanted to stick to free games. And I found this game, and it sounded interesting, and it had this retro look, and it was horror, and I heard the story was pretty interesting, and overall the presentation and the atmosphere just kind of drew me in. I remember playing 1 minute of it while testing out my recording software, and something wasn't working, so I called it a day because I quit easily apparently. And it's still in my library. Honestly, I'd love to go back to this game because it's still looking interesting, and that's really all I gotta say about that. Yeah, I have no idea what this game's about anymore. But anyways, on to the next game. Ame no Marginal. Rain Marginal. I'm probably saying that horribly wrong. But yeah, I remember really liking this visual novel. It's by the same people who made the visual novel Narcissu. Again, I might be saying that wrong. And that'll also be in my Steam library closer to the end, because that word starts with N. But I remember the story is really emotional, depressing, and I remember the ending. I remember enough about the ending to where I can objectively say it probably isn't a good ending and doesn't match the tone of the story. It almost feels like a cop-out in some ways. But I also remember being really happy and satisfied with it. And honestly, I should go back and replay this, because I don't know if maybe going back, because it's been a while since 2017, so it's been a few years, so it's been a while since I played it. My tastes have changed a bit since then, so maybe I'll find more reasons to actually like and support the ending, or maybe I'll be like, no, this freaking sucks. But anyways, I really feel like I don't have to say anything about this game, Among Us. I love it. I mean, oh my gosh, 15.1 hours. Wow. Okay. I'm always a big fan of murder mysteries, and this game is basically play a murder mystery. So yeah, really, honestly, it's just, I don't really need to say anything about this game. Angels of Death. I just did a review on this a month or two ago. Really good time. I actually recently just watched the anime adaptation, and this is probably an unpopular opinion, and I can't believe I'm about to say this. I actually think I like the anime adaptation more, but I think to fully appreciate the I think I was only able to fully appreciate the adaptation because of the game. So I'd still recommend playing this game. The story is really unique. I mean, I have a 17-minute review on it. It's, girl wants to die, serial killer, they need to escape. Their chemistry is just so much fun. I've only played 2 or 3 RPG Maker games, but I love the style. And it's just overall a really good time, and I like the ending. Not everyone does, but yeah, that's Angels of Death. Highly recommend. It's short. They actually have a bonus episode that explains the backstory of one of the characters that I really want to play, but I haven't gotten around to yet. Carpe Diem. as you can see, I've only played 19 minutes, and that's because I think the game takes 10 minutes to play through. So don't ask me why it's actually 19. Again, this is when I wanted to play some more visual novels or just indie games in general, and this was free. I heard it was really short and it had a cool twist. I'm not going to say I didn't see the twist coming, but it still kind of hit a little hard, especially at the place where I was in life, and still kind of am. In all seriousness, I think it was fun. The twist, it's a 10-minute story. You're not getting freaking Umineko when they cry here, but the story you got was good. The twist, maybe it's not predictable to everyone, but I found it predictable, was still cool. And it led, the ending, what am I trying to say? Basically, the success of it led to Carpe Diem Reboot, which is the longer sequel. I honestly can't say whether when they made Carpe Diem, if they had this planned, but Carpe Diem was pretty successful. They're like, let's make a sequel that expands upon the story and ending, and I think it does it pretty well, and I really like this visual novel. I'd actually really love to go back and do a review on it, if I'm being honest. It's pretty short, too. It was only, my playtime's 4.7 hours, and I remember beating it all in one day, which I almost never do with visual novels. So, yeah. One thing that I do remember, which is negative, is that the voice acting wasn't the best, and they said some characters' names, like, different characters would say one person's name different ways, and that was very distracting. I remember the story very vaguely. I remember it being like kind of generic, like a generic setup, but where they went with it was really fun. And I remember the ending was surprisingly, like, not brutal, but like kind of sudden and unexpected, but like in a really good way. And I think it was like, it really like makes you think about what kind of story it was in the first place. I apologize in advance. A lot of these I'm going to be like struggling on because it's been so long since I've played them or thought about them. But I do remember the true ending almost did kind of like set up, like, it didn't necessarily have to, but it kind of set up like a sequel, like kind of like if we do make one, it makes sense. We kind of set it up, but also like this is where it could end. I'd love to see a sequel. I'd love to see where it goes from here. I think I actually followed them on Twitter and asked about a sequel. Can't remember if they ever responded, but it's a good time. I highly recommend it. I think this game was kickstarted. Sakonia When They Cry, Phase 1 for you, the replaceable ones. Oh my gosh, 28.8 hours. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about this, guys. It's from the person who wrote Higurashi When They Cry, Umineko When They Cry, which are some of my favorite pieces of storytelling ever and some of my favorite visual novels. This was no exception. The themes and topics it dealt with were really intense and like topical, maybe is the word I'm looking for. But it's another great story. It's only chapter 1, but it's 30 hours. Wow. And I remember being really great and almost like an awesome standalone story, which I find is the case with a lot of the like When They Cry titles, were the two that I've read, Higurashi and Umineko, but this one especially. And I can't wait for the second one, if we ever get it. I wonder with, everything that's been going on this year, it's probably been delayed, and we have the new Higurashi anime this year, so I'm getting my When They Cry fill. Clannad. It's Clannad, guys. Like, one of the most well-known and well-loved visual novels. It really is just an amazing story in time, and I'm just noticing that the achievements like glow. That's actually pretty cute. I have 84.3 hours in this, and I still haven't done everything in it. I kind of did like the bare minimum to get like the full story, but I think I left out the baseball route and a couple other like extra things. The summer, I got this like when this edition came out, I got it the first day because I remember I was on a huge visual novel kick, and I was like, well, this is like the king of visual novels. So I got it. I played a little bit, and it was in 2017, and I like to think I've gotten, like, my tastes have gotten a little better since then, although I think my tastes in 2017 were good too, but still. I was kind of impatient at the pacing. It's also just slice of life for a lot of it, which I've come to appreciate more now. As life gets more hectic and unpredictable, I've come to find comfort and enjoyment in slice of life stories. But I didn't love the pacing. Then I paid $50 for it when it came out. And then like a summer or two later,
I was like going through my Steam library. I saw Clannad, and I remember I watched some like video or AMV with it, and I was like, I need to just sit down and do this. And the summer I spent playing this game, and then immediately watching the anime adaptation, because that's like what I do after playing a visual novel with an anime adaptation. Oh man, what a summer! Like the memories of just like, I know it's dumb to sound like so fond of just like playing a game, and this is just like reading, so it's basically just clicking and making choices, but like, just like, I very vividly remember, because I was in a different house than where I am now, just being in the corner of my living room where my desk is, where my computer desk was, just like spending so much time in between whatever I had to do, whether it be work or, I don't know, like doing lawn stuff or like yard work outside, just like playing it and just experiencing it. It's a great time. Even if like these sorts of stories aren't your thing, like slice of life, romance, stuff of that nature, I'd still recommend playing this game, because I think it's got a little bit of something for everyone. The various stories and routes in this game all deal with so many complicated emotions and themes, and the story in general, especially the true endings. I will admit there were some things that confused me a bit, but like overall, it's a good time. Great time. Clannad side stories. I got it. This was played 2016, so like I've actually played Clannad since then. Weird. I'm assuming I got it shortly after I finished the Clannad visual novel when I was on my huge Clannad kick. Really great bonus content to Clannad. It was really great to experience, the side stories that I'm pretty sure up until this point weren't released in English. I didn't actually play all of them, because I'd make it a point when I play a visual novel to play like as much of or all of it, just because, well, I paid for it and also want to experience as much of it as possible, because like maybe something I didn't like before I'll like later. I wasn't quite the same when I played this. It was kind of like, if I don't find one aspect of something, especially a visual novel where there's so much to go through sometimes, so you can just straight up skip stuff. If I don't find something enjoyable, I'll just skip it. So I think I only like read or listened to like half the side stories, but they were really good, and I honestly should go back and just listen to them all, because I used to not like the characters of Tomoe and like the girl, spoiler alert for Clannad, the girl whose parents died in the plane crash, I think it was. When I've gone back and rewatched Clannad, the anime, the visual novel would take a long time to reread, but I've come to appreciate those characters now. At least the plane crash girl. That's a horrible name for her, but I can't think of her name for the life of me. But at the time, I still was hit by the emotional impact of her route. But like I was like, yeah, I don't like her enough to listen to her side story though, and I still don't think I like just like her character, just like demeanor. I don't know what's the words I'm looking for. Basically, I haven't played them all. I should. I'll go back to it. There's gonna be a lot of I should go back to this, or I should review this, or empty promises. But it did have a side story for an underrated Clannad girl who isn't one of the more well-known ones, and I really enjoyed. I think she did fortune telling. I remember really liking her. Clockwork Greyline. Did it really only take me like less than 5 hours to complete this game? Wow, that's kind of surprising. I actually kickstarted this game, and I'm still looking forward to the sequel. Actually, when the sequel to this one does come out, I 100% plan on replaying this game and doing a review on it, as well as the sequel. It had its flaws, I think, in the pacing department, but it was still like a really good time, and it felt more like a setup with its own mini mystery, but also more as of a setup for the larger story, because this is a trilogy, and I'm really excited to see where it goes, because I've heard really great things about the series, so it's only going to get better. I still really enjoyed my time with this one. I like the main girl. I can't think of her name. It might be Ushio, but I also might have Clannad on my brain. This is also as close as it gets to hentai in my... no, there's one other game that's as close as it gets to hentai. Because there is an 18-plus version of this game. When I kickstarted, I specifically asked for the all-ages version. And I remember while playing this, basically, I don't think the hentai scenes had any super importance, but it's also... Wait, last played May 13th. I do not remember opening this game that recently.
I asked for the all ages version, but I think I also got a code for the 18 plus version. But I don't remember losing out on any story. Like, anytime I could just kind of figure out like what happened or what was the importance. So yeah, I'd recommend this game. I don't know how much it is now, so maybe depending on the price, maybe not, but if it gets better, then that's cool. But yeah, I had a good time with it. Yeah. And you can buy the 18 plus version elsewhere. It's Cuphead. Me and my friend every time my friend comes over, we play this. We hook up our good old PS4 controllers to the computer, and we play Cuphead. And I love this game. I mean, I really don't have to talk about this game this much because it's so well known. I love the aesthetic. Bosses have always been my favorite parts of video games, and this whole game is just like one big boss rush. So, you know, I love Cuphead. One time we hooked up the PS4 controllers to my computer, but it was still hooked up to my PS4, and I didn't realize it, but I rented like freaking 15 different movies on Amazon and started freaking out when I saw the charges on my card, and I had to call them and ask them to take them off, and they did it, and they were nice. So yeah, it's Cuphead. What more can you say? Back when I was a lot more into Doctor Who than I am now, I played this on my crappy computer. I don't remember much about this game, but I'm just going to take a wild guess. It's probably horrible as a video game, but for a Doctor Who fan, it's good. I remember like still thinking it was a very average time when I played it, but I played it for 9 hours, so maybe it did something. It's actually startling how little I can remember this game. Oh wow, 2015. That's only been 5 years. Doki Doki Literature Club. Again, this is one I feel like I don't have to spend much time on. I loved it. When it was trending, I was like, I gotta get on this. I gotta play this game. I actually finished it on Thanksgiving, which was, I don't know why that memory sticks out, but great time. I love it's just like it uses the visual novel genre to tell such a unique story, a really genre bending story. And yeah, even if you don't like anime stuff or stuff of that nature, it's free. I highly recommend it. Be in a good mental place to play this. Just be in a good mental place. I feel like certain aspects of the story would hit a lot different if I played it now. But who knows? Eternal Senia. More people need to know about this game. This game is freaking phenomenal. It's an RPG Maker game. The story is like simple but epic in nature, honestly. And I'm adding, but this one like I super want to do. But also it's going on the list. I need to go back and replay this and do a review on it. This would honestly be like a really cool streaming game, but I'm also horrible at multitasking, so probably not. I probably never stream because I'm not good at commentary, especially when I'm doing things, which is what gaming streaming is. But basically it's an RPG Maker game. The story is emotional. The soundtrack, I actually wrote a review on it, probably like a really bad review, but I don't even remember when. It doesn't say when. Story, emotional, soundtrack amazing, gameplay simple but fun. It's an RPG Maker game. It has a sequel. I need to really replay this so I can play the sequel, though it's on my phone and I don't have a lot of storage left on my phone. I'm a little curious as to where the sequel goes from one of the endings, because there's 3 endings, and maybe like one of them is like the true ending. It's been forever, so I don't exactly remember. I remember I was lazy at the time when I first played it, so I got one ending. Then I just looked up the other 2 because you have to do certain things. I'm like, not about that. And this game made me cry. Like, yeah. Oh yeah, Clannad made me cry too. I feel like I should mention that. I just need y'all to know that I cry. I cry too. But yeah, just play this game. It doesn't take long. I know I have 10.4 hours here. I think really it takes like 8 hours, maybe even shorter. I'm probably just bad. But yeah, I really love that artwork too. The few CGs you get in the game is like really great. It also has a weird sense of humor. Fatal 12. I mentioned this briefly in my Sound of Drop Fall into Poison review. It's made by the same people who do Sound of Drop Fall into Poison. It's definitely flawed, but I kickstarted this game. Yeah, so maybe I'm also a little biased. But no, I think in fairness, it does have its flaws, but I had a really great time with the story. It just like, basically as humans, there's a few things that like every human being, we all have in common. And that's that we probably don't want to die. I don't know. I feel like, okay, that sounded pretentious. Basically, it just taps into the human fear of not wanting to die. These 12 people die, and basically through this game where you have to find out info about the other people who died, you can possibly get to live again. And it's just a great story, emotional time. I really like the main character and her growth. I found her story to be really unique and just like an epic ending and overall atmosphere. And like I said, it has its flaws. I can't get into them because it's been a while, so I don't remember. But I don't regret kickstarting. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. I don't regret kickstarting this game. Yeah, I don't regret kickstarting this game. So yeah, that's Fatal 12. Honestly, as this continues to go on, my descriptions will probably get less and less better because I'm not creative and getting tired. Fault Milestone 1. Great time. It felt more like an introductory chapter than anything else, which I honestly think it was, but it still contained its own really great story. Emotional story. It really had this epic world that's set up. I was surprised at how much I liked it because I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did. And now I own 2 copies of it, and another one will come in when the physical edition comes in. I want to play. I can't wait for the physical PS4 edition to come in because I think it has redone art and stuff like that. So that'll be really cool. Fault Milestone 2, said above. Great sequel. Interacted a bit more with the world and the stakes. I feel like it's been a while. And wait, I played this game more recently. That's weird. Whatever. I probably just went back for certain reasons. But again, it's a great sequel. It contained its own mini story, while also felt like it was advancing things very slowly but steadily. Yeah, this series feels like it's a slow burn. And while I've never watched Game of Thrones, I feel like it might be the same thing where there's this conflict that's leading somewhere, but to get there, you're going through a lot. This feels like the same thing. Only problem, there's only 2 things released. We haven't got Fault Milestone 2 Side Below, which is the continuation, because this is left on a huge cliffhanger. This was left on a cliffhanger too, but still concluded its own story. This had half of its own story, but still felt like there was more to be done. And it was left out on a cliffhanger. And I don't know if originally it was I think it might have originally was going to be 1 story, but due to time they split into 2. I could be wrong about that, don't quote me. But yeah, I'd really recommend these 2 games, but also just be prepared for the wait, because they also have a sequel called Silence the Pendant, or Pedant, I don't know. I actually have a poster of it in my room, and it's about the purple-haired girl before the events of the story. Looks really cool. I don't know when any of them are going to come out, but I have faith in the writers that they're working on it. I really do get the sense that they're working on it constantly to give us the best product, and when it comes out, I'll probably replay these 2. It's going to be so worth it. And so yeah, I'd highly recommend these games. Maybe not right now. If you don't mind waiting, then right now, definitely. But yeah, that's I think these are Kinetic novels too. I don't think there are any choices. Could be wrong about that. What's there to say? I joined in at the Five Nights at Freddy's craze too. I remember, just like everyone, I watched Matt Pat's game theory videos. Then this came out. I'm like, I gotta play it. I played it, and then I'm also like, I gotta play it for YouTube. So I made 2 or 3. Maybe YouTube videos of me playing it, realized I was bad, and stopped. That was from one of my old accounts. I'll still say, while I'm not a big fan of FNAF anymore, this game is still really great, and it really induces fear because it makes you rely on sound, which is just innately more terrifying than, visuals. Not that the other ones aren't scary, but yeah. This one I didn't play for long. I think I got it when it came out. I had no intention of streaming or showing this on YouTube. I just wanted to play it for the lore and also to see if it was scary. Lost interest, partially because I was bad and also because I think I was burning out of FNAF at the time. So yeah. G Senju no Mao, the devil on G string. The G string is referring to violin string, not where other people's minds might have gone when they heard G string. Really, I know it's kind of funny or weird to say this, but I consider this the Death Note of visual novels. Basically, it has the same tone or atmosphere of Death Note. It's a thriller. It's just a intense game of cat and mouse and mystery, and it's just a great time. I remember I finished, or I was halfway through this game when my first semester of college started, and playing through this game story really helped me through my freshman semester, and it was just overall a great time. A lot of people have a problem with one of the biggest or latest plot twists that ties the story together. I can understand where they're coming from. I personally don't mind it as much. but it's still worth it. And the various routes are good. I know they don't get a lot of love compared to the true story, but I think the various routes are really cool. And the true ending has never left me so emotionally confused. Like, so many conflicting emotions. I was like happy and sad, and just there was like, it's like one of those endings that, like, you know, like overall the good thing happened, but it still feels sad. And then there was even more to that, and there's like so many conflicting like character viewpoints and like motivations and happening. It's so good, it really is. And just like this sheer feeling of adrenaline that pumps through you during the intense scenes and the amazingly written characters and everything, it's a good time. Also, this is another one that this is the all ages version. There is an 18+ version that I'm sure you can get elsewhere. I will say that probably the hentai scenes were like a tiny bit crucial to certain routes, but like not this. Obviously, I played the all ages version, as you can see. I'm on Steam, although I'm sure you could patch it and play it through here. But when the times they felt kind of crucial to the story, you're able to just know like, oh, this happened when the screen blacked out, or it'll just like give you a recap of the night, like a TLDR, and it's fine. I'd highly recommend playing this game with voice acting. The voice acting is phenomenal. I know it's annoying that it costs extra. You can get it on Steam, or I'm sure you get the 18+ version elsewhere if you want the full experience, the complete story. But yeah, great story. I remember really liking the ice skating chick. Ice skating girl in the game. I can't remember her name because it's been a while. Higurashi When They Cry. Everyone knows it. Higurashi When They Cry is... Wait, has he finally started Higurashi? Oh, he's only 1 minute into it. What a freaking fake fan. I was really excited. I thought one of the two friends I have in life, started playing it. Higurashi When They Cry, one of my favorite visual novels, one of my favorite pieces of storytelling. Like, I still think Umineko is better overall, but amazing story, psychological horror at its finest, especially the first chapter is paranoia, beauty. I played it without the PS3 patch. It was a fine time without the voice acting, although I do want to go back and play it with the voice acting. I actually think I like the manga gamer sprites more than the PS3 sprites, though, but having drawn backgrounds sounds really appealing. And I already played it through this way once. Maybe there's a way to customize it, so you get the sprites from Manga Gamer, but the background from the PS3 version, I'm not sure. But I am curious about that voice acting, and probably like the openings that are added. So yeah, play Higurashi. Even aside from the fact that it's psychological horror, murder, mystery at its finest, it's also just great storytelling. Chapter 2. More of the same goodness. I remember this one really did good with the emotional stakes of it all. Like, it really introduced like the feels, where the first one was like, oh, paranoia, freaking out. Third one, probably one of the best of Higurashi, and also just in general one of my favorite. The Tatarigoroshi, I can't say those words right, but it's the Curse Killing arc. And all I'll say is that I hated Satoko's character so much before this arc, for no good reason, really. I just didn't like, she's kind of character tropey, but also a lot of characters were, but I didn't mind him as much. But this arc really just changed how I viewed her and gave us her backstory and just like really put her character through some stuff. And my opinion on her changed after that. And it also introduced one of the biggest elements to the overarching Higurashi story. So yeah, it's great. Play it. Chapter 4. I don't know if you're actually watching that closely, but you see this is 26.2 hours, and compared to the others, which have around 10 to 15. That's because you can patch this game for a lot of the console original arcs. This group online's been doing it. Chapter 4 focuses on Rika. It's set before the main events for Higurashi. Great story, shorter than the others. Yeah, has like an optional choice during one point, I'm pretty sure. Chapter 5, the first of the answer arcs, focus on Shion. Probably another one of my favorite of the Higurashi arcs. Absolutely, this is Higurashi at its most terrifying, because some of the stuff in this arc, it's just like, I couldn't believe what I was reading. It was so intense and terrifying. It's great. I have also played the rest of the games. I bought Higurashi Chapter 6 when it re-released on Manga Gamer from Manga Gamer because they got it a little earlier than Steam. Then I played the original 7 and 8, the original version that Manga Gamer released because I was getting impatient for the re-releases. I do want to buy 7 and 8, the re-releases, and I will when I just feel like burning some money because, or when I feel like it's time for a full replay because I want to support them. I was just impatient and wanted to finish it, but I'm sure they went through they put a lot of effort into the re-releases. But all 8 chapters in the main Higurashi story are on Steam. There's more that's coming, including an epilogue chapter, but for now, that's enough to get you through it, I feel. Play Higurashi. I actually just bought this recently. It's made by the same guy who wrote Higurashi, so I have nothing to say about this except for I do very much intend on playing and reviewing this in the future, whether that be near future or far future, I don't know. I might review something else beforehand. We'll see. Iwahime, if I'm being honest, I know absolutely nothing about this game. That actually really excites me for it. I've heard basically that it's good, not as greatest, but good. So yeah, it's a little pricey, but I bet the length justifies it in quality. I also got the bundle, so I get like an epilogue chapter, or I'm assuming it's an epilogue, who knows. I don't believe it's connected to the rest of the When They Cry titles, but what do I know? Just Cause 2, one of the first like non-weeb games. That's true, I had Five Nights at Freddy's. My friend gifted me this, and I feel really bad because I haven't played a lot of it, but it's not my type of game, if I'm just being honest. I know I play a lot of visual novels, but I do also play regular video games too. It's just not my type of regular video game. I do appreciate it, and maybe if I'm ever feeling it for good action-y fun, I'll get back to it. But it's Just Cause 2. It's everyone knows, at least I think it's relatively believed to be just like a great game in general. So yeah, I also like didn't have a good computer at the time when they gave me this, so you know, multiplayer mod. I mean, yeah. Okay. The Lego Movie video game. I was on a Lego game kick at the time. They've always been really fun games. I was just on a particular kick on the time. This game was on sale. I liked the Lego Movie. I bought it. I played a bit, and I just got burnt out and bored. It's not bad by any means. It's just, I was like, oh, no, I can't play any more real video games. I got to read some more of my visual novels. So, yeah. A Light in the Dark. I kickstarted this game, too. Added this to the list of want to go back and replay because I think I kind of rushed my reading of this and I wasn't in love with what I read at the time. I think as a whole I really liked the story, but the ending I felt at times I didn't love as much. But it was last played in 2018 and my tastes have changed a bit since then. I know I keep saying that, but like 20-year-old me is just so different from barely legal me, from 18 me. So you know, it's just overall I'd still recommend it because overall the story is really great. I'm losing my ability to speak as I continue on. Yeah, and also I just think it wasn't I don't know. I thought the premise was cool. I feel like it could have used more time, basically. Yeah, that's my main problem. Like, I'm saying things, and as I say them, I remember them. I really like the story overall. I just felt like it could have used more time. I felt like the ending especially was rushed. So I'd still recommend getting this. I don't regret kickstarting it. There's also an epilogue chapter that came out a while ago, and I still haven't played it, so maybe that'll actually change my my thoughts on it. And I do remember the manga prologue, so yeah. Made by the same people who made Conad. I don't know much about this game aside from I can't wait to play it one day. I've had this in my library forever, for freaking ever, and it's just like I know once I play it I'm gonna love it because I love like that old like kind of like I don't know, like the Conad art style, like it has that same vibe to it, like almost derpy or dopey, I don't know. And I like the kind of like, you know, just emotional slice of life mixed in with maybe some supernatural, but also just the story's meant out to hit you in the feels, you know. And ever since Angel Beats, you know, opened up my tear ducts, you know, I'm all about the feels. I will eventually play and review this one day. It's just I kind of, because Conad playing it is so ingrained with like One Summer, I want to wait till the beginning of One Summer to start this game and just like blast through it, and then I'll watch the anime adaptation because that's what I do. Although I don't know if the anime adaptation for this is as good as Conad's anime adaptation, but if you like Keyworks and Conad, you'll probably like this game. It also has cloud saving, which is nice, so I can play it on my like editing PC and also just like my personal laptop. And since visual novels don't require, you know, a ton of processing power, you know, you can play it. Lucid 9. Man, I really wish I could do like 20-minute rants about everything on here, but my throat is getting sore. But amazing. This game is free, and it has no right being free because it's amazing. It's like thriller, mystery. It's one of the first visual novels that really gripped me, and like, holy crap, I care so much about what's happening to these characters sort of way. The art's great, the soundtrack's great, the story's great. I highly recommend this game if you like just thriller or mystery stories or just well-written stories in general. The only downside is it ends on a cliffhanger. Like, it has its own story that it finishes, then it also has a cliffhanger to set up the rest of the series story. And the sequel still hasn't come out yet. We keep getting updates from the people, I think, but it has been a while, in fairness. I know it says last played 2018, but I think I might have just hopped into the game for a second. It's been a while. Can't remember when it released, but it kind of like, it was back when I was like still getting into visual novels, so it really like gave me like a much bigger appreciation and drive to play them. Play it, it's free. Maybe wait, I don't know. I think they like released an update with like the prologue to the next chapter, because at the end there's like a choice you make, because I think the sequel is just going to be a patch, maybe. I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but towards the end you get to choose which character to visit before you do something. And basically, I think how it works in the sequel is depending on what character you choose, you'll go on that character's route in the next game. Because while this game, it has choices, but aside from bad endings, it's pretty linear. The next game is going to have different character routes, focusing on the heroines they introduce in the game. And this also feels like an introductory chapter where like they got enough character development, but there's more to put them through. So yeah, they released the prologues, I believe. I'm hearing heroine prologue updates, issues with old saves. So I don't know if it's still up. Maybe it is. Play it. It's good. I played this game pretty recently. I was going to do a review on it, but I was trying to do something different for the script, and halfway through it, I really, really wasn't digging how like that was transforming my review. So I scrapped it, and I got to a place where I didn't feel comfortable redoing it or wanting to do it. Basically, let me say here, it's a great emotional story. It's kind of your standard, can robots really be human story, but it uses its setting and that like generic premise to tell a really touching story, especially the main character. His character development is just so amazing, and it's a unique story. I'd say it's unique enough. I heard it's basically Korean Chobits. This visual novel is originally Korean. I've never played Chobits. I mean, I've never watched Chobits, so I can't attest to that. Maybe I will. I want to if it's like this, because this was a great experience, and it's a short experience. So it's like one of those like fun, really good short stories that stick with you. Not like super short, but you know what I'm saying. Play it, it's good. The soundtrack's really good. I bought this soundtrack, actually, the additional like tracks, I believe, and you can even get a patch that restores it to its original visuals, which is cool. I know the story was reworked in some ways. I don't know what. I couldn't find much info about the original visual novel. Lynn, it's right here. See, I made the review on it. Great experience. It's just like an hour. Play it. It's scarily relatable, tense, scary horror. Words are not my specialty. It's good. If you want to know what I think about it for 8 minutes, watch my review. I love Ebehims. Ebehims, however you say it. I've only played a couple of their games, but they're amazing. She's a great writer. Played this game when it came out. It starts off really... that bottom image, though. Starts off really sci-fi, and towards the end, like, almost kind of sends more into just, like... Wait, did they play it? 1 minute, okay. Kind of descends into more almost really not magic-y, but it feels magic-y at times. I still really enjoyed it. It had emotional, like, I really like the world. I like the setting. I just liked the story it contained. The characters, I remember, were all really fun and memorable. Even the main character was kind of typical edgy. He kind of had his own like arc that made him more memorable. It's been a while, so I can't really say much aside from I really liked it. I really liked the girl with blue hair. I remember I really liked her role in the story and her character development. And there's a torture scene, and it's the thing I remember most vividly about it is that there's a torture scene that was just terrifying to read and actually made me uncomfortable. Not in like a violent sort of way, but in a like, oh my gosh, imagine if this was happening to me sort of way. play it. It has its flaws, but I still think it's a really fun and great story. And it kind of sets it up for a sequel, which we haven't gotten any news about because I don't know if this visual novel did the best in sales. So I don't know if we'll actually get it. The soundtrack's also really good too. I got the soundtrack. I fell in love with this visual novel and got like as much bonus content, which isn't much. I really wish I could have been around when this game got a Kickstarter, because if I could own a physical edition of this game, oh man, that'd be amazing. This is like a fairy tale. Like, I honestly don't know much. I said I played it, but it was from the creators of Fault Milestone, and the story's really good. It has this fairy tale aesthetic. I can't remember if this is supposed to be a fairy tale set, like this is a fairy tale people tell in the world of Fault Milestone, or it's just like, you know, set in the world. I honestly can't remember. But like this, it's a short story. It feels like you're reading a storybook. Really impactful and emotional, and I remember it has this very like calming and almost like eccentric atmosphere to it, and then there are a couple times where the story takes a hard turn and gets terrifying. You're just like, oh crap. But throughout it, like the writing and like the story being told is very consistent. So play it. It's great. It's not what you're expecting. I can't remember much about it, but I remember it wasn't what I was expecting, and it was great because of that. It's also more Fault Milestone content. My friends came over, and one of them likes Nancy Drew, so we played it. I fell asleep while two of them played it. Maybe Nancy Drew is my type of thing. I don't know. I haven't played it, but yeah. This is the 10th anniversary anthology project to Narcissu. I still haven't played it. When I do play it, I plan on reviewing it as well. Don't hold me to that, but I think I will. Narcissu, the original game, is just this very emotional story about death. And it's emotional, and it was one of the first visual novels, like in the first like 5 or so visual novels I played, and I just remember its story really sticking with me. And for some reason I didn't like the second one as much, but I still bought the 10th anniversary project when it was on sale. But I also didn't. I also played this in 2015, and that was again when pacing wasn't a strong suit of mine. So I think the second one might have had slower pacing to get you more attached to the characters. And I didn't appreciate that as much when I was 15. So I want to go back and play it because I feel like I'd really appreciate it more. But I remember the first one being amazing. And then this. This is what I was just talking about, Narcissu 1 and 2. Amazing story. And in the Ame no Marginal game, there's actually a Narcissu bonus story, which is cool. I love Persona. When Persona 4 Golden came on scene, I'm like, hell yeah. I haven't actually played this yet, although when I feel like playing Persona 4 Golden, this is how I'll do it. I just wanted to play it to support the beautiful people who brought this over, and also to get that amazing extra soundtrack and art book. Because, I mean, I love Persona. I'm a Persona sucker. Another key work, Planetarium, The Reverie of a Little Planet. Really just emotional story. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but basically, you know, post-apocalyptic setting, guy stumbles upon a planetarium with a robot and just wants to show you the stars, and I'm running out of articulation, but if you like keyworks, if you like feeling the feels, play this game. You know, it was really good, and I remember the ending like really just hitting hard because I didn't expect it, especially from a keywork, and I was just like, wow, this is sticking with me. And I also watched like the sequel movie, which is also part recap movie, which continues the story. And overall, I honestly need to go back because I think I kind of like rushed reading this, so I didn't appreciate as much. Like, I still liked it, but I feel like if I replayed it and just took my time with it, and it's not long either, I'd just like be blown away. I played whatever Prince of Persia game was for the 360 once. I really liked it. My cousin let me borrow it, so I was like, time to play the original. I did a long time ago. I couldn't get the controller mapping right for some reason to whatever controller I was using at the time, and I just kind of gave up. I should go back and replay this because Prince of Persia is a great game series. I don't know this first game if it's as good as like the others, but it's just like a really unique series, you know. And they're remaking. I don't know if it's this one they're remaking or a different one, I think. But yeah, it's Prince of Persia. Sepia Tears is one of those visual novels I always heard about. The regular version is free, but I recently bought the reprise edition because I want to go back and play it and review it. I remember I started it because I was waiting for the release of another visual novel and I wanted to kill the time, but I ended up taking too long and I got like less than an hour into the game, and then like I stopped that day, and then by the time I got back to just playing in general, because I think I was busy at that particular moment in school, the new visual novel or whatever it was I was waiting for came out. So I just kind of left it behind. I like the very little bit I've read of it, and it just kind of looks like one of those mellow, emotional stories. Like, it's not like game changing or like world changing. You're just gonna be like living life in this game, and there's gonna be intense focus on, characters, dilemmas, and emotions. The regular version's free if you want to try it out. I personally want to try the Reprise Edition because I know there's redone art and extra chapters and stuff like that. And I figure if I'm going to go back to this game and give it the proper shot, let's go all the way. Kind of like what I did for Voices from the Sea. I replayed this recently because Sonic Generations is probably one of the last good modern Sonic games. This game, which is from 2010, I think, or 2011, has no right looking as great as it does on PC as it does. Like, it's just a great time. Like, play this game if you like good platformers, because this is generally just like a great Sonic game. Even though it's like trekking through like Sonic games past, it's still its own thing, and it's a good time, and it just looks great. I can't remember like why, but I think getting my PS4 controller to work with it right was a little annoying. But overall, I played it on 360. I played it on PC. It's a good game. As I'm getting more tired and my throat is getting sore, I've already done a review on this. Great time. Loved it. Minor flaws. I played it a long time ago. Didn't give it the full shot. I only played through it once, not trying the New Game Plus mode. Didn't like it as much when I went back to review it for that, because I've been on a whole finish your backlog thing for a while. Little Buster's just staring at me. I gave it the full try, and I liked it. And I think I was impatient because I just came off of Steins Gate, and, after playing Steins Gate, does anything really feel real or good anymore? Speaking of Steins Gate, I love Steins Gate. I really do. It's one of the best visual novels out there. One of my favorite stories just in general, and the best time travel story I've ever seen. Play it. Watch the anime. The anime is actually a great adaptation. Do one or the other. I recommend the visual novel because, it'll always be better than the original, but both are great. Playing this game, another great time. My friend recommended it to me, and for that I will forever love my friend because holy crap, they have a lot of hours into it. It's Steins Gate. I love it. This is the dating sim spinoff. I plan on doing this at some point because as much as dating sims aren't my genre in visual novels, I love the characters of Steins Gate, and not seeing them suffer every 5 seconds will be a good time, and I think it'll be a fun time to do a review on it, especially since the first video for my channel was Linear Bounded Phenogram, which was another spinoff, whose name I said wrong the entire time. You can even see it posted in the community hub. So I think it'd be really cool to do this at some point. I would like to do it for Valentine's Day, but if I'm being realistic, I'm going back to school this January, and with other stuff going on, I have a feeling I won't be able to play this whole game. I'm still playing Robotics Notes, which is long. So realistically speaking, I don't think I'd be able to play this game, then do a review, record, and edit it. So maybe for a future Valentine's Day, or I'll just do it, whenever the time is right, It's Steins Gate. Just freaking date the people without them dying horribly. What else can I say? Yeah. I wonder if Luca or Ruka is a guy or girl. I don't know, like, the premise. So, like, if he's in a different timeline or whatnot, or a different world line or whatnot. So who knows? Tales from the Borderlands. It's Telltale Games at its finest. I've never played the Borderlands games, but I love this series. It's just like the funniest Telltale game. It's fun. It's great. I miss Telltale. While some of their games were complete flops, although Minecraft Story Mode, masterpiece of our time, while some of its were flops, this really, I think, is one of the best Telltale games. And should it ever get a sequel, I wouldn't complain. Spin-off fighting game of Umineko. It's a good time. I don't like fighting games, but I'm chipping away silly at this game for all the additional like Umineko like story content because it's just a good time. I have it on super easy mode, and I basically just whoop my AI opponent, until I can play the next cutscene and collect all the art. So great additional Umineko stuff. Umineko answers arcs and question arcs. It's Umineko. It's amazing. Honestly, what I consider a masterpiece of a story, one of the best stories written in all time. And this is the complete answer on question arcs. He's finished before the Higurashi re-releases, which I feel like is really funny because this is like a spiritual sequel or successor. Yeah, it's Umineko when they cry, guys. Love it. Play it. Don't watch the anime. Read the manga if you have to. That's a good adaptation. Just don't freaking weird. Don't don't watch the anime. Hopefully we'll get a new anime with the new Higurashi anime seemingly being connected. I want to do a video at one point about why Umineko is one of the best things ever, but we'll see, because where do I even begin? Voices from the Sea. Probably by the time this is uploaded, it hasn't been uploaded yet, but I'm actually making a review of this game, so I won't say much. Did I enjoy it? Who knows? Did I not enjoy it? Who knows? It's a game that exists. There's a free version, and then there's the plus version, which I bought and played for the review, which adds voice acting, some bonus story content, and I think a couple other customizable things, like changing like the home screen of the game and character bios and stuff like that. You'll find out what I think later. I liked it. This was when I was on my indie game kick. I never actually played this game, as you can tell by the 1 minute. Again, I don't think I was planning on like streaming or like, showing me playing this one on YouTube. I just wanted a good, story heavy, unique game to play. I honestly don't know whatever stopped me from, playing this. Maybe I got invested in something else at the time. 2015 me was unpredictable and wild. Who knows? The Way of Life, free edition. Oh, it's not a full edition. I don't know. I don't even know what The Way of Life is. The Way We All Go. This is another of the stories written by E.B. Himes. Very Higurashi vibes, which is funny to say because I played this game before Higurashi. I really like the atmosphere, the various endings, the characters, all very generic things to say, but overall it's a great time. I think the art's a little lackluster, but I also can't draw for the life of me, and also it might actually add to the atmosphere. Definitely adds to the Higurashi vibe, because we know Higurashi and art. It's a good time. I think the various stories that the endings have to tell are really fun, and when you get to like those endings where nothing horrible goes wrong and it's just like a good ending, you're just like, man, this feels right. I feel like I've been through enough to justify this. I think this game's fun to play as much as you can without a guide, to see just like what kind of like endings your decisions will lead to, because sometimes things can go from 0 to holy crap really fast. So play this game. It's a good time. I don't think it's too expensive. I think this is one of the this was also in the batch of like earlier visual novels I played. I remember I played the demo for it, and like months later I got the game, because I think I wasn't sure if I loved it from the demo, but I wanted to give it a shot. I think I played it around Halloween time. Nope, last played July. Whatever, who knows? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. We have 2 more to go. Who is Mike? A dream of mine is to write like a psychological like mystery thriller story. And at the time when I wrote this, I was playing on it, and I saw this. It's like a very short but like also varied visual novel, where it's like short but you have a lot of choices for a variety of endings. And I just wanted to like learn how to write feelings of mistrust, which this seemed to excel at. I never completely finished the game, but I really liked what I played. If you're looking for, I'm pretty sure it's free. I could be wrong about that. If you want something short that's fun and unique, the setting is pretty like cool. It's just like there's 2 of the same guy, and you're just like, oh wait, who am I don't know. Who is Mike? Not me. I don't have a name. I'm hopefully an okay editor 357. It's a good time. I should go back and like just completely finish it. I have a feeling it wouldn't take long. And I still one day would like to write a good mystery or thriller story, but I'm not good at writing, so, who knows. Lastly, World of Horror. It's like a Lovecraft Junji Ito RPG, and I love every second of it. My friend gave me this for my birthday. I've only played a little of it so far, actually, with him. It's a great time. I'm going to play more eventually. And, yeah, I love it. Just play it if you like Junji Ito, and who doesn't love the Junj, so yeah, that was my Steam library. Sorry, at a certain point you could tell I kind of like tapered out. It's I didn't realize how long it would take to like talk about all those things sufficiently, and I really did try, but at a certain point I'm sure you could tell there was a drop on me like talking about things as much. So yeah, this has been hopefully an okay editor 357. I hope you enjoyed this video. Man, this video's long. That was a tour through my Steam library. Judge my tastes. Go ahead. I've been judging myself for years, so your criticisms will do nothing except for add to the never-ending pain. Just kidding, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Here's my Higurashi When They Cry wallpaper. It was probably the beginning of the video. I'm tired. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun to go through my Steam library, and just like check things out. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.